Hey everyone, thank you all so much for watching and sharing that last video. It got the second most views out of any video I've ever gotten, so I was really happy about that. This video that you're about to watch is what happened at the protest before that violence took place. You're going to get to see the ANTIFA rally and then the Proud Boys rally, and you're also going to get to see how they interacted before all of that violence broke out. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section as usual, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye. Hey everyone, it's another lovely day in Portland, and another lovely huge protest. This one looks a lot larger than the last one. I'm actually a half hour late to it because it took 2 hours to leave my hometown instead of 1 hour, since there's a massive fire right next to it. But yeah, the protest is still going strong, so let's go check it out. So I apologize, first of all, that my hair is so long. I'm going to get it cut soon. And second of all, for the sketchy camera work. I couldn't get anybody else to come down with me to film this video, and so when the camera's on me, it's going to look kind of cruddy like it does right now. It's all good though. I'm going to be mostly filming the protests. They're right in front of me. It looks like it's mostly Antifa people, like the vast majority, like you know, hundreds and hundreds of Antifa people, and maybe a few free speech protesters slash pro-Trump protesters. I know that I took some flack in the comment section last time because I described the the Freedom March protesters as being pro-Trump, and I do apologize for that. Not all of them are. Some of them are just pro-free speech, but there's definitely a right-wing tendency to the anti-Antifa protesters. So that thing that you can see in the distance is a massive police car with tons of guys with riot gear on the back, so they're definitely prepared. As you guys may or may not know, there was a May Day protest here that turned very violent, so yeah. Also, there's another event here. I don't even know what they're doing, but it's crazy that they had it on the same day as this protest. The protesters are over there. They just started moving. Good thing is I know where they are, so I'll go and catch them. Here at the back of the protest, they have some signs that says, "Enough with the racism, machismo, and poverty. Resist Trump." They're the Raging Grannies. Raging Grannies, that's cool. Pretty cool group. It does not appear to be the same crowd that you usually find with Antifa, who are pretty aggressive and young. So, mostly nicer, older people here so far. We'll see if there's anybody else. We do have a lot of people from Socialist Alternative here. Yeah, they're at every protest, seemingly. These guys are very well organized. A lot of them have the same things.
I believe that we will win! I believe that we will win!
So there was just an announcement over loudspeaker that this protest has become violent, and as such, it's being pushed like west on some street. But it seems pretty peaceful so far, and it was over loudspeaker, and they said it was the Portland police. But who knows if that was really them, or who knows what that was. But yeah, it might get kind of interesting. I'm trying to get in touch with Kyle to see if there are any counter protesters here, but no luck so far. He just ended the chant as I started filming, but they were saying Nazis out, Nazis out. What do we do with Nazis? Out, out, out.
Immigrants are welcome here, no hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here, no hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here, no hate. We are unstoppable. Another world is possible. We are unstoppable. Another world is possible. We are unstoppable. Another world is possible. We shall not be moved. We shall not move. That by the time we got close to them, they had dissipated and left.
So the Patriot. So the Patriot Prayer people left is what she just said.
There were some civilian and some police casualties. There was some violence and there were some injuries, which was directing our route. To have a permit, I voted
There are police here.
Because I am not going to pay to march on indigenous land. Protection today, so I thank these officers for doing their job, for protecting and serving. I just pray that they protect and serve us.
So she just thanked the officers for protecting and serving.
I'm with the International Socialist Organization. Nazis and white supremacists have been dispersed. They were seen in a garage and they were leaving. And why did that happen? Because we were many and they were few.
Well, we need to talk about that in detail. Yeah, there are details. You don't yell fire in a church, for example. So you can just shut up with whatever it is you're trying to push. Come on up. I can't bring this down there, I'm afraid. As I was saying, these forces, along with climate change, endless war in the Middle East, ableism, homophobia, transphobia, unemployment, these are the poisonous sets of jaws that belong to the many-headed hydra of capitalism. Capitalism befouls our world and its inhabitants. The ruling class, capitalist, uses these beastly, relentless tactics to keep us, the working class, divided, depressed, and insecure so that we can be subdued and controlled. It is exhausting living under capitalism, am I right? Yeah. Because capitalism is tenacious, but we nevertheless can fight this beast together by turning our collective anger into collective struggle. Although Hercules was able to slay the Hydra, we are not demigods facing a monster. We are people facing a monster. And there won't be trumpets to announce the arrival of a hero who will single-handedly slay this poison breath beast. For our power as humans lies now in wait for single-payer healthcare and an end to extortion.
There are the clergy witnesses. You can see the man in the kippah there and the other man.
All along, that he would be a white supremacist president. Our immigrant communities, to protect our indigenous communities, to protect our most marginalized communities, which we historically have not done a very good job of being there to love and support one another. We must do better, and everyone here together gives me a lot of hope that we will. Inherent worth and value as human beings.
The Patriot Prayer people, the free speech / pro-Trump protesters are in Vancouver. And so I'm going to try to get over there as soon as I can in order to watch that protest.
Want to do what they did today.
We just got a shout out for Antifa and then a shout out for Palestine.
And we shared love and prayer and ceremony. In my culture, that's called being an Akichita. So thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm here at the new protest side. So to start, in that last Antifa protest, it was interesting. There was a little bit, like, they thanked the police. They were, you know, there seemed to be more liberals there. Antifa call themselves leftists. They're the far left. Liberals are the moderate left wings. People like Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, those kinds of guys. There were a lot more liberals at the last, protests, like very few still, but maybe like 10% of the protesters were liberals. And yeah, so they thanked, like, one person thanked the police, which usually doesn't happen. But there were still definitely some far left themes there. There was the socialist alternative all over the place, and so yeah, pretty similar but also different. Now we're gonna go to the real conflict zone, which is where the Proud Boys are taking on the Antifa people, and this is almost all Antifa. So yeah. The police are here in force, as you can tell. There's the legal observers in the green hats, and as we can see on the other side, those are the free speech / pro-Trump people. This is Antifa, and we have 2 lines of police in between them for good reason. I think they want to avoid having them fight. So off camera, I just had one person accuse me of being a fascist because I was streaming the Antifa people. But then I just explained, like, look, I stream everybody. I tape everybody. Somebody recognized me from interviewing Kyle Broussard, the bald guy who's on a lot of my videos. And I was like, yeah, but I interview everybody. And so they seem to be okay with me now, which is good. But I thought I was gonna have some trouble with Antifa for a sec. But yeah. I'm gonna see if I can go and get around to the other side now to hear what they're chanting. Antifa is chanting pretty typical stuff, you know, love, not hate, pro-immigrant stuff. Those guys are intense. But yeah, I'm gonna go over now and see if I can talk to the Proud Boys / like conservative side. I tried to interview those Antifa people. I've tried to do that a lot of times. And oftentimes it doesn't go so well. And so, yeah, for some reason, I'm a little bit more afraid to interview people on my ideological side, you know, as a left-winger than I am to interview these guys, which should tell you a lot. So I couldn't even get into the, you know, pro-Trump / pro-free speech / Proud Boy side. The police straight up have it blocked off. They were very nice, but they're like, yeah, we were told to block this off. So not much I can do. I'll see if I can go around to the Antifa side and see what they say. But what it kind of looks like right now is that you have a large number of Antifa people, and then a large number of police, and then a decent number of the Freedom March people. The police appear to be protecting the Freedom March people to some extent. I think just because they're outnumbered, and because, yeah, that's mostly it. Here is the Antifa side. Decent number of them. I'd say 150, 200. And then I'm going to try to get a view of the Proud Boys.
Not sorry!
So I have no way of getting an estimate on them. I'd say they have anywhere from like 50 to like 100, but probably on the lower side of that. I mean, there are not a lot of them over there. Here we have the free speech zone, and fucking nobody is standing in it. All right, here's a better view of the Proud Boys / the pro-free speech people / the Trump supporters. Pretty small numbers, as you can tell, but I do think there are more Antifa here. There's that one guy from the other video.
You will be remembered as a white supremacist in the books of history. You will be remembered as the same scum who hosed out black people in the streets in the 60s. You will be remembered as the people who dumped food on peaceful protesters in the 60s. You are the same racist.
So I actually got in. Thanks to Kyle, I got into the Proud Boys side, the pro-free speech side, so I can get nice and close. I might even get some interviews too, which would be really sick. Here's me not being locked out. There's Antifa. So the police are moving in. We have this side. These guys are talking. We have those typical flags. More police have gone over there. I don't know if Antifa is doing something or what, but yeah. The police are definitely moving in. There's more of them. Who do you protect is what they're chanting.
Thank you all. Be safe.
So they just said a prayer.
Stay strong.
Yeah, we have these guys here.
Rise like phoenixes from the political ashes. Don't make too much noise. You have to understand, the second someone starts to make noise, okay, you'll start to feel the pressure. Trust me. There are forces at work in this country that is trying to shut up anybody or anything that begins to speak up and to speak out. It doesn't matter what if it's an individual thought, they don't like it. Suppose they put that on other people. They run around, take pictures, and they think it's like death to you. It's like, take my picture, post it. I don't care, because this is what we gotta do. This is as soon as I started to do this, it freed me. I got to the point where I just went around and I said that my name is Joey Gibson. I believe in freedom. I believe in love. I believe in God.
This is the guy who's the head of this movement.
Things, no matter how much hatred they want to put on me.
He's the one who they're all protesting.
They feel so lowly of themselves that they want to make other people feel low. Spread the good message. It goes from one person to the next. Just like hate. Hate goes from one person to the next. So if you're hateful, you're making this world a worshipful place. But if you're filled with love and you're filled with joy, that's contagious speech, right?
This is a Bernie Sanders supporter who's come to this rally.
So that's kind of interesting.
Mary support here. Her name is Tara. Are you the one that was in Seattle? Is that right? Okay. Are you gonna talk about that? Okay. Awesome.
But I attended a rally in Seattle, and I was standing with that side, and what I saw, and the fact that I'm more afraid to be over here on this side, scared of my own group, gives me more reason to stand here with you guys. People shouldn't be afraid. So I'll just keep this short and simple. My message is basically what everybody else has gotten up here and said. Even though I'm not a Trump supporter, I don't believe we should be attacking other people. Everyone's welcome, nobody's perfect, and anything is possible.
Nazis. If you really look to the people that are paying them to show up at these rallies, that's George Soros. George Soros is a war Nazi criminal. But that just might happen. The thing is, our Constitution is what we stand on, and what we are represented by is our flag. Our flag is everything. It is our president, it is our freedom, it is our country. But the point being is, the flag can't get anything done. I would like to see Pledge of Allegiance brought back into the schools. Another thing I would like to see is the House of Senate and Congress to all stand and give the Pledge of Allegiance when it is going. Not sitting down and chit-chatting with their brothers. The time to put your hand on your heart and say the Pledge of Allegiance for the flag that you represent, and we the people have put you there. If you cannot stand in Washington, D.C. and honor that flag, then we the people would like you to leave. God bless you all for being here, and God bless America.
We're going to have a prayer in a circle. Anyone can pray, say their piece. I think it's important that we bring that back into our country. We got to be more spiritual, okay? I appreciate all you guys coming down here. I appreciate you having an open heart and an open mind, okay? I know that you watch the media, it's kind of scary to come to one of these things, but today was nice and calm and cool, all right? An unbelievable day, and I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out here today.
So here we have the prayer circle and some more chanting from Antifa. I guess I'll go up to see what Antifa is doing since not much is happening here.
Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear.
That everyone's like, got me thinking KK, and then they were like,
Kind of uncomfortable with these guys. Okay, want to get you on the first group. Probably can take you out to your cars. The first aid, so I don't know what's going on between this tension right here, but it doesn't have to happen. You don't have to do it.
back away from the planet when it came here. So you expected it to be rather close. It has been before.
In Portland? Yeah, I expected pure violence. So I didn't want that. You know, I'm done with it, sick of it. It doesn't do anything that's good for our country. It's going to burn down this country. So we pulled out and decided to come here. We still sent people to Portland to make sure, you know, the exercise are not violent and who are, you know, God-fearing. They're not. They don't. Some of them are atheists too, but they believe in the power of love and the power of peace. So what do you think about all the Christians that follow you out here? God bless their faith.
And what else am I? They feel the way they feel. I feel the way I feel. You know, it's weird. It's like they see an enemy in me or in these people, but it's not real. We don't have to be enemies. We can all get along. I mean, they seriously could have just come down here and heard speeches. Some of them could have given speeches. I mean, it could have been a really simple day. But the way we're at in this country right now, with the lies, the deception, they're trying to divide us. They want this. Like, do you understand? The Washington. This is what we got to get rid of.
You've been planning though these rallies and then these counter protests always spring up as a result. Is it time to try a different tactic?
I think if you see what happened today and what happened down in Berkeley and San Francisco, I think that we're definitely changing our strategy, definitely changing our tactic. I think big numbers, and we can get big numbers in safe areas. So I think that's what we're going to do. I do think it's important we still exercise our right to march through Portland, march through Seattle, march through these other areas, but we got to do it with a group of people who aren't extremists, a group of people who believe what we believe in. The problem with an open venue on Facebook, the event page, is anyone can just see it and just show up and act like they support us, and then just cause trouble. And so we do want to change our strategy, because at the end of the day we need results. That's all that matters.
Hey everyone, I'm here with Kyle again for like his 12th interview that he's done with me so far. And so you were saying that a lot of the people would be here, but they're trapped in Portland?
Yeah, there was actually a really large group in the beginning of Portland. It was probably, I can't even remember the number, but it was actually quite a big size. It was probably about the same size, if not twice the size of people who actually came here. But they ended up getting trapped in Portland, and a lot of people ended up texting me saying that they can't make it. And it's because of either them getting shut in and not being able to get back to their vehicles, people being assaulted, people being threatened. It ended up being kind of a shit show down in Portland.
Yeah, can you talk about what happened when you were down there?
Sure. So there was kind of, the entire purpose of it was to show the presence. When we decided to move to Vancouver, it wasn't out of show of fear. It was a show of solidarity and the fact that you're not going to be able to push us out of Portland. Okay, there were people who went down there, showed their patriotism, showed of what they were willing to go through. And when we arrived, we were met with nothing but hostility. We didn't even say a word before we were pretty much enveloped by Antifa and their members. We ended up getting buckets thrown at us. I was shot by a wrist rocket multiple times. I had buckets thrown at me, signs thrown at me, bottles of water punched, kicked, shoved, like the whole 9 yards. It ended up with people getting separated because the violence was just too heavy. The police were not prepared. So when they were unprepared, it ended up with people being especially arrested. I was amazed at the response for such a small contingency of police that they ended up arresting probably about 10 and 15 people.
Really?
Yeah.
Mostly from Antifa, I assume?
Oh yeah, there was none from our side that were arrested.
Really?
Absolutely none. We actually went in with a show of absolute non-violence. We wanted to make sure that people knew we were peaceful. We told people we were peaceful. Anybody who would listen to me, that I told that we were non-violent and that we were peaceful. So, but regardless, we were met with just absolute ferocity from Antifa. They were willing to do anything and everything to get us out of the streets. From violent and shooting people with, it will not surprise me sooner or later they're going to start arming themselves with something a little bit more effective than a wrist rocket. It wouldn't surprise me.
Totally. Wow, that's disturbing to hear about. But since it hasn't been, I mean, it looks like the police have totally separated you guys from them. Is that about right?
Like, here in Vancouver.
Yeah.
So Portland PD and Vancouver, Vancouver is a lot more effective. They actually they made a decisive ideological push that they are not going to allow violence. Okay, if you come here with violence in your soul, hate in your heart, and with intentions to hurt people, we're going to keep you out. And you could tell that with the few members of Antifa who actually did make it through the barrier, they were completely quiet. They didn't have anything to say. They knew that we weren't against them any longer. On top of which, Antifa only fights in groups.
Yeah.
They are cowards. They hurt people. They hurt people who they can. And if they single you out, that's when you're looking to get hurt. The things that hurt the most down in Portland was the fact that when we got separated from our group, because I went back for another guy who was kind of separated. I ended up going back for him, and that's when they really started coming at us. They started throwing rocks and bottles and chunks of cement. So anything that could be seen as a projectile to hurt us, that's what they used. They'll do it by any means necessary. This has to be stopped.
Totally. Okay, cool. Thank you very much for the interview. And then there's one more thing. I know when we were talking before, you said that you thought that Antifa should be considered a domestic terrorist organization. Have you heard the news that there are some organizations in the U.S. government that are moving forward to claim that? Okay.
Absolutely. And I'm extremely happy about that. I can't tell you how happy I am to hear that some of the actions that are going to be taking place, like Eric Clanton down in Berkeley, a lot of these people who are committing these acts of violence are actually having an additional charge put on them for domestic terrorist-related activities.
Yeah.
And that's good to hear, because these people, although I agree that a lot of them are just simply misled, and a lot of these are misunderstanding what's going on truly here, it's important that these people actually face the consequences for what they're doing. I want leniency as much as possible, but I fear when someone's going to die from this. You look at people who are being viciously attacked and assaulted with bike blocks and chunks of cement. It's a wonder how people haven't been killed already.
What about the one woman who was killed in Charlottesville? Yeah. Do you consider that different, or?
Do I consider? No. Actually, here's my consideration on that. If you are part of the KKK, if you're part of the neo-Nazis, if you're a white supremacist or Antifa, you are all fringe. It doesn't matter what side you're on. If you commit a domestic terrorist act, it doesn't matter if you're right or left. You're a domestic terrorist. You should not kill people. I didn't think I would ever have to say this. You shouldn't kill people because of political differences.
Totally.
Period. And for them to commit such an atrocity in the name of their politics, it's disgusting and has no place here in the United States.
Totally. Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you very much for the interview.
Absolutely.
Cool. So the protest is about done. What happened is that Patriot Prayer people went to Portland, got attacked by Antifa pretty viciously, and then they came over here to rally over here. But they wanted everybody to know that they didn't give up on Portland, but that I guess they're doing it here for a number of reasons. But yeah, Carlos's interview is pretty self-explanatory. Hey, if you're an Antifa person watching this video, I'd love to get your take on this. It's very frustrating. I don't oftentimes get the chance to interview Antifa people. Because they just don't want to be interviewed. But I'd love to hear their perspective. And so, yeah, if you are an Antifa person, or if you know any Antifa people, please feel free to contact me. I'll put my email information in the description below. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you learned a lot about how this protest went, and about how the day went in Portland in the clashing between the Antifa and the Patriot Prayer people. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.